Friday Night Blitz is sponsored by Fairway Meat and Grocery.
This is ACGC student section, and this is Friday Night Blitz.
Well, welcome into Friday Night Blitz. I'm Raina Garcia, joined by Jake Bryn, and we have a lot of games to get into, so we're going to have a shortened preview of our game of the week between ACGC and Mount Ayr.
Yeah, it's playoffs, finally playoffs, 16 teams in each class, just 2 rounds to go before we head to Cedar Falls. And our Friday Night Blitz game of the week takes us to Class A, where ACGC is hosting Mount Ayr. The Mount Ayr Raiders won a thriller in the first round over Earlham. Now with the shot to take down undefeated ACGC, they've got no shortage of momentum.
If you're not ready to play football by this time, at this time of the year, in the round of 16, I don't think there's a lot of things that are going to fire you up.
It's definitely fun. You work hard in the summer and you work hard throughout the season to go out and perform during these big games. So it's win or go home. So it's a fun game every week.
On the other side of things, the ACGC Chargers made it through the regular season without a loss for the second consecutive year. They've got a clear identity. That's running the football. The Chargers entered this game with 5 players over 100 yards and nearly 3,500 total rushing yards. In fact, they only threw 38 passes all season long. They know what they're best at and don't run from it.
It's just who we are. We're out here, we're blue collar. It's a farming agricultural community. We're hard-nosed, we're tough, and we're going to play like that on Friday nights. And I think the kids take pride in that we're going to come at you. I don't care if you call out the play and you know where it's going. You got to stop it still.
We know what to expect from them, and they know what to expect from us. And we know we put 11 better guys on the field that'll play to the whistle every play and hit them in the mouth almost every play.
The Chargers and Raiders have met 3 times since the start of 2023. ACGC has won all 3 of those games.
Game of the week, sponsored by Fairway Meat and Grocery.
Matchup number 4 in 2 years on just a beautiful night for some football. It was a fast start for Mount Ayr, and I mean a really fast start. Dyson Thompson takes the pitch and goes 47 yards on the first play from scrimmage. The Raiders take a 6-0 lead. A slower start by the home team is made up for by Brexton Schneider on the 7-yard touchdown. ACGC takes a 7-6 lead at the end of quarter 1. Now this is impressive. The Chargers started this drive at their own 3. Jathan South, the quarterback, caps off the 97-yard drive, 14-6 ACGC. And then after an onside kick, the fullback, Mike Fuller, finds the end zone. ACGC scores 41 straight after the early touchdown. The Chargers are moving on.
All right, staying in Class A, we had the 7-2 Madrid Tigers taking on the 8-1 Pekin Panthers. Preston Wicker doing what he does best, and that's make plays with his legs. He escapes some tackles, makes a guy miss, and then takes this one to the house. It's 7-0 Tigers. On to the second quarter we go. Madrid still leading here, and Wicker somehow comes out of this one, doesn't get tackled in all of the traffic, bursts through down the sideline. He's finally knocked out of bounds after a big gain. But you know what? He can also make plays in the air too, folks. He connects with Emerson Bridgewater for the touchdown here. The Tigers make it 14-0. They go on to get the shutout over the Panthers, 33-0.
Carroll on the road as Mount Vernon is putting together a drive. Mikey Ryan had himself a night. This catch and run goes for 25 yards and sets up a QB sneak for Mount Vernon. Kellen Haverback takes it in, and the stable is getting rowdy over there in eastern Iowa. Second quarter now. Haverback to the air, and check out this catch by Mikey Ryan. Laying out for it. Gets the Mustangs in the red zone, then it's Cooper Hurd. He rumbles to the 1, would punch it in the next play, and Mount Vernon is moving on. They take down Carroll 42-6.
Let's move to Class 4A. Norwalk hosting Xavier. We'll start this one off with Cash Parks. He is gonna dump it off to Dustin Cook, and this is kind of wild. He finds himself with a ton of open field in front of him. The Warriors try to play catch up, but it's too late. Touchdown Saints. They take a 7-0 lead. We'll move to the second quarter now. parks on the keeper. It is cash money. He finds the end zone for Xavier's second touchdown of the game. The Warriors trying to get some momentum going on offense, but how about this catch from Brady Schmitz? Laying out and hauls it in. He's a little shaken up after the play, but a tough night for Norwalk as they end the season at the hands of Xavier 35-14.
Undefeated North Polk hosting Fort Dodge. First quarter, we go to Nathan Feldman. He's the do-it-all quarterback for the Comets. He punches it in from 9 yards out. The QB puts North Polk up 8-0. He's been incredible all season long, and that continues into the playoffs. Another touchdown from the senior, 15-0 Comets. Feldman and North Polk handle the Dodgers 36-6.
Our first play of the week nominee comes from Norwalk. It's Brady Schmitz with a diving effort. That is one heck of a play, laying it out all on the line. And that is what playoff football is all about. Well, we still have a lot to get to here on Friday Night Blitz. And after the break, I'll take you inside the huddle with the West Marshall Trojans as they prepared for their matchup against Van Meter.
We're the West Marshall Trojans, and you're watching the Friday Night Blitz.
Inside the Huddle, sponsored by Des Moines Orthopedic Surgeons.
The West Marshall Trojans have been known for their toughness and love for defense, and they were going to need both of those attributes to show up big time as they prepared to take on Van Meter in the second round of the playoffs.
We are the underdogs, but we've kind of been that way all year, and we've had a bounce back season, going 2-7 last year to really turn things around this year. And I give a lot of credit to our seniors. We have 19 of them, and they really bought in to what Trojan traditional football is and what our program stands for.
I feel we have one of the best defenses in all 2A.
I just think it's just the tradition of West Marshall. Every day it's like, can we just play longer on defense? Can we continue defense? And they love to fly around. They love to hit. We're physical. I believe we're pretty tough. So, and that's really what we hang our hat in on a game. And they just know how to make plays. They like to fly to the football and help each other, support each other.
I mean, our offense have been getting a lot better throughout the season. Week by week, we've gotten so much better. So I think that really gives us some confidence, and just our drive that we have as a team and playing together
really helps us. We had a great win last week against West Liberty, a good football team. We just got to stick to our keys, kind of do what we're coached to do, play tough. We're going to play tough four quarters and just leave it all out there and see what football gods have for us at stake.
The Trojans on the road tonight, taking on Van Meter in the Class 2A second round. Bulldogs came out firing. Jay Haley takes this one in himself for the first score of the game, and Van Meter goes up 7-0. West Marshall trying to find a spark on offense. Looks like they're going to punt, but they go for it on fourth down, and they convert. But that momentum would come to a screeching halt. Vincent Clausen goes deep, but it's intercepted by Kason Peterson. He gets some great blocks from his teammates down the sideline, and he takes this one all the way back inside the 10, giving the Bulldog offense great field position to work with, and they're able to turn it into points with a touchdown from Garrett Cole. The Bulldogs now up 14-0. Trojans not backing down, though. Clausen goes for another deep shot. This time it's caught by Jace Ike for a huge gain to set up West Marshall in the red zone, but they just weren't able to take full advantage here. Henry Lounsbury looks like he got shot out of a cannon. He gets the sack. West Marshall turns it over on downs. The Dogs keep rolling in the playoffs, defeating West Marshall 47-0.
The Class 5A playoff bracket is loaded with teams from the CIML, and many of them are taking on schools from the eastern part of the state. We'll kick things off with Dowling Catholic hosting Cedar Falls. Dave Bingham has more.
It's playoff time in 5A, and we think of the last 25 years of the Blitz. We've been talking about that. It's only 24 years of football. We're in the 25th year. But since that, Dowling's been to the semifinals 14 times, but they're playing no slouch tonight. Cedar Falls, the Dome regular, they play there, but they've been to the semifinals 6 times. The last time these two teams played in the Dome with something on the line, championship game, 2018. Dowling won that one. We'll see who wins tonight. What a great environment here. Dowling hosting Cedar Falls, a MediaCom stadium right next to Drake University. And boy, the Tigers get this thing going early, taking advantage of some special teams. And Will Remmert catches it at the 9, makes a couple people miss, and then a good move here, keeps his balance, and he's gone. More than 90 yards for the touchdown. Tigers on top 7-zip. Dowling answers, good drive, put it together. Big pickups, and they go to Rashad Davis. Touchdown here, right in your grill. 7-7, Maroons back in it. And then Dowling gets the ball back, puts a drive together. Davis again, and then they go to some exotics. Back in Pleasantville, we called this the Horseman Special. This is a modified version to Phillips, to Wilson, to Ska. 14-7, Dowling. It's the Maroon defense's turn. They get the turnover. Joel Senko with the hit.
Number 90,
and Ryan Bobo with the recovery. 16 yards here. Going to give it to Davis again. 6 yards out now in the second quarter. Dowling up 21-7. And then Cedar Falls not done, though. Lighton Wolf, little play action screen here, slip screen to Davian Clark. Big pickup. Clark would take it in a couple plays later, 2 plays later, 21-14. And then Dowling, they go to this Trey special again, but this time he fakes it and keeps it. Maroons on top, 28-14. So second half, Dowling gets off to a good start. Another touchdown by Davis. 41-21, a late touchdown by the Tigers, but that'll do it. Dowling moves on to the semis. They'll take on Centennial next week. You have to see all the highlights that we gave you tonight on the Blitz, but there's more on our Dome Dynasty social media, so check that out later on when we get it edited. That's going to do it for now. We'll be ready for quarterfinal week next week with a trip to the Unidome on the line. Send it back to you guys in the studio.
When's the last time we saw this? Southeast Polk playing a road playoff game. Opening drive for the Rams. Holden Hansen rolls out, keeps it himself. 2-yard score, 7-0 Southeast Polk. But PV has an answer. Harrison Fierce with a 2-yard keeper. We're knotted at 7-all, and it's a good one out in the Quad Cities. 14-all in this third. Fierce calls his own number again. The Spartans take a 21-14 lead. Fourth quarter, the Rams strike. Hansen connects with Caden Hills on the slant. We're tied at 21-all. 3 seconds to go. Samer Arafa from 26 out. Southeast Polk wins it at the buzzer. What a win for the Rams. Our next play of the week nominee comes from Van Meter. West Marshall's Vincent Clausen goes deep, but it is intercepted by Kason Peterson. And check out this block on the sideline. Boom! He takes this one all the way back inside the 10, and don't go anywhere because we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, we'll pick right back up with those Class 5A first-round games.
Centennial cheerleaders, and you're watching the Friday Night Blitz.
All right, welcome back. Let's pick back up with Class 5A. The Ankeny Centennial Jaguars hosting the Iowa City High Little Hawks. This was part of a doubleheader tonight in Ankeny. Now, things got off to a rocky start for the Jags. On their first drive of the game, this ball gets knocked loose, and the Little Hawks recover, but they go on to turn it over on downs, giving Centennial the ball back. Now, this is more ideal. Brayton Jackson punches it in for the first touchdown of the game, and Centennial jumps out to a 7-0 lead. There was a lot of that tonight. On the ensuing kickoff, Malachi Kirby gets in there and causes the fumble, and the Jags jump on it. And they are back in City High territory. Ankeny Centennial crushes Iowa City High 52-28. They're moving on in the playoffs.
Coach of the Week, sponsored by Wyckoff Heating and Cooling.
Dowling's goals stayed alive tonight as they took down Cedar Falls. Dave Bingham is standing by with our Coach of the Week.
We're back with our Wyckoff's Heating and Cooling Coach of the Week, Tom Wilson. It's playoff time, and when you look at the big picture, you got to focus in on this opponent. Cedar Falls came out and did a good job. I mean, it worked for them because they needed their special teams to play well. They got some, and your team really didn't flinch. Talk about the start of the game. That was tough, and you guys stayed pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Cedar Falls is a pretty good team. They're really good up front on offense. That back, I think, is a special back. And, they've got some weapons on offense. And, we felt that they were going to try to keep the ball away from us and those types of things. Then they returned the opening kickoff, and kids didn't flinch, but I may have a little bit. And but we just went back to work and started getting after it. And it wasn't anything fancy. It was just our running game. And credit our offensive line and Shad and our defense, and really doing a pretty good job.
You've been through this so many times, and we were there. We've been there in the last 25 years watching it. This time of the year, what becomes critical? Because I know you prepare the same way. You got to turn around. It's like, don't talk to me right now. I got a lot of work to do. And I know you love this, but it is a great. What will be the key elements as you try to move forward and get back to the Dome for next week?
Well, I think overall it's health. I think it's focus. you can't look ahead. You'll get beat, and there's no reason for us to do that, especially now. So I think our maturity has to show. I think we've matured throughout the year. It's still a fairly young football team, but we've got the Dylan Mannings and the Aiden Ducharmes and the Carter Smiths and the Trey Wilsons and those guys that have gone through it, and hopefully they can help lead the way.
Yeah, Davis, I don't know how many carries. I kept trying to get the numbers. I'll get them to the folks at home, but he had a lot of carries, ran the ball. I know you like to throw it. But let's go back, let's reminisce, because back in 19 and 84, 85, if we'd have run the Horseman Special or the Trey Special or whatever, we probably would have beat you. Was that fun, and are those things that you have to go to this time of the year, and how much do you enjoy having some exotics? Because you ran the ball and you could have stayed with that, but that works out and it's a lot of fun.
Well, it is. It's something we work all year.
Yeah.
And you want to use it sometime. And so we used it, and unfortunately it worked out tonight. And who knows, maybe there'll be some more in there somewhere.
Well, I mean, Selby was the guy that was supposed to do it for Pleasantville against you, but we went for two a different way, so it didn't work out for us. But
trusted Selby.
Yeah. So what's the key moving forward for you? I mean, is it mostly on your staff, or do you have to go to work or as you get ready for next week?
Well, I think it's really all of us. The kids got to handle their business, and we coaches have to handle ours, and they need to get some rest and take care of themselves, and we need to get a plan put together against a really, really good Centennial team and see what we can do.
All right. Appreciate your time. That's going to do it. Wyckoff's Heating and Cooling Coach of the Week, Tom Wilson. Back to you guys in the studio.
Valley hosting Sioux City East. The Tigers trailing by a touchdown early in this one, but King Coleman runs the ball in and ties this game at 7-all. Similar play a little bit later on, but this time Jake DeGroot fakes the handoff and takes it up the middle himself for an easy score. Tigers take a 14-7 lead. Valley looking to tack on, but DeGroot is intercepted by Chris Ford, and that ball is taken all the way back for a touchdown, and just like that, this is a tie game. Valley, they respond with Jaden Davison taking the pitch and trucking his way in. But this game comes down to the wire. Tied at 28-all in the closing seconds. Conley Harney knocks it through. Valley survives the upset bid. They're moving on to the quarterfinals.
Game Ball, sponsored by Fairway Meat and Grocery.
Well, it is time for us to give away our game ball for Week 10, and this one a no-brainer. This is going to Ankeny Centennial's Braden Jackson. He had 3 touchdowns in the first quarter alone. Then he tacked on 3 more, including a kick return for a touchdown, a 44-yard touchdown reception, and a 64-yard touchdown reception. That is impressive.
Wow.
Really just insane. So props to him and props to the Jags. They are moving on to the quarterfinals. Well, we are going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we still got some more, including our play of the week.
Did not stop doubting what they knew the outcome should be in this game.
Tigers, and you're watching Friday Night Blitz.
Play of the Week, sponsored by Taco John's.
All right, well, we usually have 3 Play of the Week nominees to show you, and we do, but we saved the last one for now because it's also our winner. Who we got, Jake?
It's the winner. Ice blood in his veins. 3 seconds to go. And Samer Arafa knocked through a game-winning field goal. I think I attached the wrong video, so my apologies to you, Samer Arafa. But we saw the kick earlier. So impressive. Send Southeast Polk to the next round.
Gotta love the game winners. Well, we're gonna take one final break, but when we come back, Jake and I will give our final thoughts on tonight's playoff games. Next week. All right, well, before we get out of here, Jake, I can't believe we are moving on to the quarterfinals next week. It's also our last Friday Night Blitz of the season.
That's crazy. I'd been begging all year long just for finally football weather, and we got it. But now we've only got 1 week to go outside before we head to the Dome. But it was an awesome night of playoff football.
Definitely. And real quick, if we had another game ball to give out, I would give it to you because Jake also covered state cross country today before going to our game of the week. He is such a hard worker. We are so grateful to have him.
And I would hand this to Marissa Farabee because she broke a state record by 18 seconds. Amazing.
That's awesome. Well, that's going to do it for us here on Friday Night Blitz. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Friday Night Blitz is sponsored by Fairway Meat and Grocery.